All right, boys. Hope everyone had a good week. Talk to me about some dad wins and fails that we may have had.
So I got something I'd love to get your guys' take on as dads.
All right.
So I have 4 girls. You know, I have a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old, and then I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. So
She's already 2. Wow.
Yeah,
man. Time
she's 2.
flies. It's funny. Everyone else's kids seem to age way faster than your own kids.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Seriously, when it's happening before your eyes, it doesn't
Exactly.
seem. So, and I actually have brought this book up in the past called Free Range Kids, where they talk about this whole kind of fear culture we live in right now as parents, and we're just terrified to kind of let our kids do anything. And she has some challenges in there, well, to try to do with your kids, right? And we have a grocery store that's it's right outside of our neighborhood,
Yeah.
across one busy street, and it's right there.
Yep.
Okay, so it's about a 10-minute walk if you're walking.
Yeah.
And we've biked up there a few times with my kids, my older kids, and we've practiced going across the street, all this stuff. And like, it was like time where my wife was like, hey, do you guys want to go up there on your own and get me something from the store?
Not all 4 kids. No.
No, the oldest.
Yeah,
two.
the 2-year-old rolling up there with
I
the
was like, I'm
2-year-old.
the
wheel.
free range kid.
Yeah.
The penny farthing.
She just rolls up. No, so yeah, to clarify, my 2 oldest were given this proposition. They're like, you can go up there. What do you think? And they were kind of like, okay, we think we're ready. You know, let's do it. And so I heard about this, and I knew it was
I'm
happening.
scared for them. I mean,
Yeah. So what we did, the little safety measure, I guess we did, was they took my wife's phone with them, and they had like a little backpack. And so we're like, hey, obviously if something happens, here you go. We gave them a talk about obviously crossing the street and also about talking to adults. Right. So they had that whole pitch. So this all happens. I get home from work. I'm like, I heard you guys had like a little adventure today. And my 7-year-old's like, yeah. I was like, was it smooth sailing? She's like, yeah, pretty much. And so then later I come to find out that they had a couple obstacles on their way. Basically, my wife was like, all right, if you're not back in like so long, I'm going to get in the car and like come up there. And they got back really fast the first time. So that's up a bit, but they went the wrong way out of the street apparently. And they were like, the sidewalk ended. We didn't know what to do. And so they just got turned around.
Yeah.
And then they figured out, they said, we're going to go try to do it again. So they were able to get up the street, got in there, bought the stuff, came back home. My other daughter had a little other problem in the parking lot that they had to work through, but like, you know, they did it. They made it home. They're alive. They're safe. And I think some people are going to be like, you're crazy, like for letting your...
was that your idea or your wife's idea?
It was more...
It was the book's idea.
It was more the book. Yeah. And my wife is definitely... I'm probably the more protective one, honestly, between the two of us.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, I'd love to get your guys in because are you guys like, that's crazy? Or like, Andrew, what age do you like give your kids some autonomy?
Well, what did you feel more empowered, or as a parent, did you feel like, oh wow, I feel more empowered because I let them do this? Or
I kind of feel like, yeah, in some ways I feel like, and partly because of their response. Like my oldest came home and she was like, I'm so proud of myself. Like she was so proud of herself for doing it. And because again, it wasn't just easy the whole way. They had to like figure some things out. So I think it was really rewarding for her. And again, my 7-year-old was like, oh, no, this is 2 hours, 3 hours
your
later.
second kid doesn't really
did
count.
you tell your 9-year-old she was in charge, or did you say you're both in charge of each other?
That's a good question. I don't know if my wife had that, but
Outsourced
they
it.
were like, they knew they were in this together.
Yeah.
But the funny thing was my wife asked my oldest and said, would you want to do it again? And she was like, definitely.
Yeah.
And then she asked my 7-year-old and she was like, well, she's like, I would, but probably not this week. So like you could tell there was a little, still dealing with some
Trauma.
emotion there. Yeah.
No, I think to answer your question, I think the cool part about it is like, that's what being a parent is. Like, how do you help your kids realize their power? And so it doesn't matter necessarily like what age. Eventually it does. Like I look at what I had my oldest do and I'm like, there's no way my whatever is going to do the same thing as my oldest, just because of like how you're born. Like he was, we go to this place a lot and there's this like, the supermarket on it. And I think it was like 8, 7, and 6, and I sent them up to the store to get something. Now, granted, like I can almost see the store from the house, like it's maybe like a quarter of a mile away, so I can see it. But I would never send my now 8-year-old up there by themselves and be like, all right, go get eggs and milk and flour. So I think there's like a big difference. But every kid, as a parent, that's what you're doing, man. That's awesome.
What's the analogy in that book, The Anxious Generation, where it talks about trees that grow in the wild versus trees that grow like in like a lab or a greenhouse? Because like when the winds go by in like in the fields, the roots strengthen. And so like by sending your kids out to the store and sending them out in like these like small adventures, they strengthened their resolve and like they got turned around and they figured out how to do stuff, versus the kids that get coddled. So the version of like, growing in the lab or growing in like a greenhouse, the roots never strengthen.
Yeah.
So you can verbalize to them, if in this situation you need to do this, but by the time they're put in that situation, it's just not the same. It's a really hard pivot to go from a wholesome story to today's topic.
That was my. Yeah,
I was desperately looking for like a pivot and I couldn't find one, so I'm just going to pivot. So this week's topic is all about something that is a little bit sensitive for me to talk about. It's all about fighting the dad bod.
The dad bod.
So I'm going to kick it off with a question, but I'd like to monopolize a little bit of the time.
Go for it.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
So the question is, when was the first moment you realized the dad bod had arrived? For me, it was last week.
Oh, last week. This is hitting close to home, I guess.
This is really close to home.
It's hitting really close to home. And the reason it has arrived is because my daughter referred to my pectoral muscles as boobs.
Well, you are 35,
And
right?
that's kind of where I'm going with this. I feel like 35 is the start of when the dad bod truly arrives.
Yeah, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's how many kids you have, because I mean you could have a dad bod without having.
Well, actually,
kids,
good question.
right?
Good point. You had kids in your 20s.
Yeah.
When did your dad bod start to arrive?
I don't have a dad bod. What are you talking about?
Open up, grow up.
No, it's weird. You can actually like. There are videos of me on YouTube not too many years ago. I don't look like the person I look like today. I look like I ate the person I look like today. And I don't know. It's a good question. I think when you start to have like so many responsibilities that maybe your personal care, especially when you have young kids, your personal care kind of gets pushed in the background. It's like, oh, well, I'll work out at night when I come home, or I'll work out in the morning before they wake up. And then slowly but surely those bits of time start to get eaten away.
Yeah.
And then you're like, listen, I'm trying to survive. So I look at like dad bod, like true dad bod, not like you're tubby and you drink a lot of beer and you don't really care, but like a true dad bod where it's like you care, but there's not much you can do about it. I think it's like when you like when you start sacrificing your personal time to support whatever you need to for the family or whatever. I don't know. I mean,
Matt, define dad bod for us.
Dad bod.
Yeah.
I think it's.
What do you think of when you
beer
think dad
belly,
bod?
like gut.
Yeah, you just think of out of shape. You kind of think, but to your point, Andrew, you tried or you did at some point, and then it just kind of fell off.
Well, I think dad bod also has like there's this undertone of strength still. Strength.
Yeah.
So dad bod doesn't mean weak.
Right,
That's the catch with dad bod. Dad bod's still like the guy who's going to go shovel the driveway, the guy who's going to change his spare tire. It's like there's like a safety in dad bod.
Did you know dad bod is only about 10 years old as a phrase?
But like think about your dad strength.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like it kind of
dad
goes
strength
hand.
is
It
a
kind of goes hand in hand. Like you go play like an old guy in a sport. You're always like, dang, how does this like?
Yeah.
You go play like especially like the racket sports at like at a club or something like that.
For sure.
Those guys, you're like, they outweigh me by 40 pounds. How are they even keeping up with this?
Yeah.
There's this
They can
element
move.
of like dad bod where it's like almost like a facade. It's not the real.
Who comes to mind though when you think of dad bod? I have one that comes to mind
Go ahead.
right away.
Who do you have?
Even though I don't think he's a dad, actually. Seth Rogen. Every time I
okay.
think of dad bod,
Yeah.
I think of Seth Rogen. And for some reason, I think of that movie Neighbors, because for some reason, he's always topless in that movie. And I just feel
I
like...
can't
Yeah, I
place
don't know.
Neighbors. I don't know why I can't place
But
Neighbors.
it's always Seth Rogen. So maybe for me, I've never thought of it as... Yeah, maybe you were using it as a positive.
Well,
but
to your point, I think that term came around. You're like saying 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Whereas it was like this thing where
it went viral with, I think, like a Clemson University student had used the phrase like dad
the first
bod.
time.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And so it went viral. And so I was trying to think, because to your point, dad bod was not a phrase when we were growing up, because you would never look at your dad and say, dad bod. Dad strength definitely was there. And your dad would always refer to his own strength as it relates to whatever. But dad bod is a young term.
But I don't think it's necessarily like a negative.
So I did do a little bit of research on this to see whether it's negative. or
Okay.
positive.
Ooh,
All right,
good.
let's hear it.
So in 2021, there was a Planet Fitness survey done where 70% of Americans said, and I quote, and you must have been part of this survey, 70% of Americans said that a dad bod is a sign of a man who is confident in his own skin.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
Of that 70%, 65 said it's sexy, and 47% of people in that same study said that the dad bod is the new six-pack.
Yeah.
I don't know that
I don't know about
agree
that.
with
Yeah, no.
The idea of
that,
a
to be
idea of
honest.
a six pack though, at like when you're in your 40s and you're not taking any synthetic hormones or anything like that, the amount all it comes down to eating. It's like very little about working out. And when you don't have like a
Diet.
good rhythm when you're eating, like how many nights have you just ate chicken nuggets because that's what your kids are eating, right? Or you're
Right.
eating.
Well, that's what I was asking you about.
Mac
That's
and
what-
cheese because you're like whatever.
Well, that's what I was
what's hot.
asking about the timing of a dad bod, because if you are 35, so I'm 35. If you're 35 with no kids versus 35 with kids, I'm trying to figure out like the chicken or the egg type thing. Is it becoming a dad and eating all their leftovers and not having time to do, X, Y, Z? Or is it just your metabolism just goes anyway? Is it a combination of both? Because I have certainly felt it in like the last year or so.
Mine started when my wife was pregnant. It was a sympathy weight, man. It's a real issue, okay? I want to bring this up.
We did
This
cover
is a real-
sympathy weight recently.
I have pictures of
Sympathy
my,
weight.
how women always hold their belly in a picture.
Yeah.
So I would
You
always.
do realize that cravings only apply to the mother, not
No,
to
that's not true.
not
This is
to
a real
you.
issue, guys. I would hold my belly with her in the
Yeah.
pictures. You know what I mean? Just to like.
Did you ever have her go behind you and hold your belly?
That would have been
The
great.
problem is he never
That
stopped
would've been-
holding his belly.
Yeah, seriously. But I would say though, really like that first 1 to 3 months when you have a newborn, like any type of kind of like routine is out the window,
Yeah.
and that's where I have felt, and especially after I think my second kid,
Yep.
going into my third kid is
Yep.
when I really felt like, man, like, because you're juggling all that at home stuff
Yeah,
with
for
little
sure.
ones, and you have a new baby that gets
What do you think
thrown in
the
mix.
average weight gain is for a dad after every kid?
after every
After every
kid.
kid?
Yeah. What do you think the average weight gain is?
I mean, like a consistent. It's hard to keep weight on. Like when you put weight
Yeah.
on, the consistent weight, I'd have to say it's like 5 pounds per kid.
You should let Matt go first. I feel like the last few episodes you've gone first,
Oh,
and
I'm
he's
sorry.
just
I'm
plus,
sorry.
plus or minus. Gone.
Yeah, what was
4.8
Andrew's take?
pounds.
5? I'll go ahead and say
What is- what is
If I
your
six.
take?
carry the
What is
5,
your
divide
Let me
by-
take 6. Yeah, I was gonna land around 10 because
That's
I
a
think
lot.
it's a lot of weight.
I mean,
but,
10 pounds, dude. 10 pounds of fat is.
but if
so
you go
much
from
fat.
like, I mean, it's not like you're not being active, but I feel like if you stop all physical activity
Yeah.
and you're just around the house, like, no, you can gain weight pretty quick.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
3.5 to 4.4 pounds is
Okay.
the average
Yeah, that makes
average
sense.
weight gain, which I think is reasonable.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's reasonable.
Yeah.
Now, when you guys like you work out regularly,
Yeah.
Like how many days a week do you work
I
out?
probably work out 4 days a week.
Okay, and how many days a week do you work out?
Typically
I'm
three to four.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I work out probably 3, probably 4. I'd say on average I work out 4 days a
Okay.
week. But like, what type of working out are you doing?
Well,
are you
that's
doing it to
changed.
like
That's
because like,
changed too.
I never worked out previously. Like I always played sports growing up, and then like basically for like 18 years I did no workout. And then I got back into working out, and I started lifting, pretty much just doing like heavy weight training versus like cardio and all that sort of stuff. Just because of the, I read an article that was like how you reduce the breakdown of your body by putting more muscle on it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
the goal is how much muscle can you put in your body?
Yeah.
And obviously there's this hard thing, but like how do you train like in terms of like fighting dad bod?
Completely different to how I trained 5 years ago.
Okay.
So I'd say when pre-COVID, pre-kids, was doing basically what you are doing now. Everything was like big compound lifts. I was also 20 to 25 pounds heavier.
Okay.
Of like, okay, don't laugh, all muscle.
Whew,
all
baby.
muscle.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's
No,
like
stud.
that's like a brown god.
I mean, Greek god was often thrown around by me.
That's amazing.
By me. Yeah.
I mean, we're probably talking 195, sub 10% body weight.
No, really?
Body
I'll
fat.
show you a video after.
Body fat.
I'll
Oh,
find
dude.
one.
Oh, wow.
I'll
Dude,
find
sub
one.
10?
Sub 10.
Wow.
That's
Sub 10.
shredded, man.
Sub
Yeah.
10.
So what did you eat?
I mean, are we going to get into like diet right now?
I mean, I'm just asking. You threw out the sub 10.
I was probably eating 4,000 calories a day.
You were doing
Wow.
that much working out? Wow.
Yeah.
Because at 4,000 calories a day is a lot of
lot.
calories.
It's a lot of food.
You're running. You're
It's
running a
of
lot
food.
too, right?
Well, I had a buddy of mine who actually was a personal trainer in New York.
Okay.
And so he would just everything he would like put together like for his clients in terms of like meal plans and workouts. I just had access to his share drive. And so I would just go on there, nosy around, and just be able to pick up like workouts, meal plans, all of that stuff. All that goes out the window post kids. I started picking up a lot of injuries though.
Yeah.
So think about like
okay.
training in like
Yeah.
your 20s.
Oh, for sure.
You don't warm up.
Yeah.
You suddenly put a couple of plates on, and before you realize it, like you're doing a squat.
Yeah.
And you're fighting for your life.
Yeah.
Or like you're doing a bench press and you're using all shoulders just
Yeah.
to finally like finish that rep. And so by the time you hit your 30s, every poor piece of planning has caught up with you.
Yeah.
And so I've had shoulder tendonitis the last, I call it, year and a half.
Yeah.
So I can't do much overhead anymore, which is kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
And so part of like the struggle with like the dad bod is the fact that you can't work out the same way you used to. So everything is like low impact hit type stuff. So injuries take a thing. And then I found out that, you know, your metabolism starts to go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was
not
telling
only
people 35 is like
Yeah, 35 is just
that's-
an absolute
that's-
crash.
Yep.
and it's all the things that you used to love, like milkshakes and all of that stuff that
Yeah.
just really take a toll.
You gotta
Yeah.
avoid 'em.
Somehow you become lactose intolerant. You were never lactose intolerant.
Doesn't make
before.
sense.
Doesn't make any sense. Like sniffing a cheese pizza will send you to the
Yeah.
bathroom. Like it's horrendous. And so it's like a slow. It feels, or it has felt like it's almost overnight that it happens, and it's obviously years of, you know, poor training catches up equals injuries, or
Yeah. Or the weeks
years of,
fly
like-
by and you're
and then
you're
the
taking
minute-
care of your kids and your home, work
Exactly.
life, the work life schedule.
I will tell
runs
you
down.
though that the big hack that has helped, and I used to really struggle with this, especially after we had our eldest, is I would need a really regimented, specific workout routine.
Okay.
I have just dropped all of those expectations. I now work out with my kids. I'm rarely counting time between the sets. I'm kind of trying to fit the workout in alongside watching the kids versus like, hey, I need an hour to go down and do whatever
Yeah.
I need to. Like that was always like my biggest issue when we first had kids. What about you guys? How do you kind of plan your workouts with all
Well,
the
that's the thing. It's changed a lot over time because the time is so short. Like you come home from work and typically you just have your hands full now until the kids go to bed and then you're exhausted. So I found early mornings has been like the only time that I can actually get some time to
I
myself.
can't do early mornings
to work out.
for the workout
That's the
anymore.
only time I
Yeah.
have that I feel, because at night I'll always have something to take priority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a dinner event. There's a this event. There's that. Oh, the kids are, they didn't go to bed in the time that I
Yeah.
want them to go to
Yeah.
bed, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So the only time that I can have a consistent workout is, in the
Yep.
morning,
Yeah.
Starting at whatever.
Anyone
like
working
6
out with their
a.m.
kids? You working out with your kids?
So actually, we just did a family fun run. I think I talked about it on July
Oh, nice.
4th.
Yeah.
But we've been trying to incorporate that. But there's a couple of the summer holidays. We've been doing like a 5K. Just as us as a family, we go down to the park. The kids can either run, bike, and then the little ones get pushed in the stroller. So, or a rollerblade too, like whatever they want. There's a lot, however they want to
Welch
figure out how to
family
get through
boot
it.
camp over here.
It's true. No, it's been
Push-ups,
it's been
5Ks.
Oh, yeah, I got the kids working out,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, I got the basement workout. That's where I go,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
they do come down there. And my daughter came down the other day and was doing some push-ups with me again.
Can I also admit something? I'd be curious to get your guys' take on this. I felt like, and maybe every dad goes through this cycle, where for a period of time when you are working out a lot, you say, you know what? Once I have kids, doesn't matter.
What's the point?
What's
right?
the point?
Yeah.
When you have girls,
Yeah, you got a point.
you find out the point.
Well, I was going to tell you,
Exactly.
I was going to say my motivations changed too when I started having girls and they start getting older.
Yeah.
And then you realize that some punk's going to show up at the door someday.
100%.
I started
Yeah.
my 10-year plan at that moment. I was
What's
like,
your
all
10-year
right,
plan? Tell us your 10-year
10-year plan was just to get as jacked as possible so that when these kids come to the door, I'm not a very
it's a
big
pretty
guy.
simple plan.
Yeah. To get as
We're
jacked as
1 year
possible.
out, Matt. I think you've got some catching up to do.
Yeah, seriously.
It's pretty simple plan.
Look.
Steroids. Lots and lots of
We're
steroids.
gonna, let's just say, yeah, I might have a quick up ramp towards the end here because I'm not a real, physically statured guy, tall guy, right? So I'm
Yeah.
just like, I got to be some type of physical intimidation
Yeah.
to these kids. So maybe I was thinking maybe around year 8 of my 10-year plan, I started
Wait,
getting some
what
face
year-
tattoos.
what
Maybe
year-
shave the head,
I was gonna
beard,
say, you gotta
face
shave the
tattoos.
head.
Hold on, pause.
There you go.
What year are we in of this 10-year plan?
We're probably
14.
well, let's hope not, guys. That's more than 10 years.
Answer the question.
Yeah, like 3 years in.
No, we're not.
You
We're
got
3 years into
7 years.
I got 7
Your
more
eldest
years.
is 9.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I'm 3 years in. Yeah, because I need 7 more years. My daughter's 10.
It's like,
My
it's like
daughter-
the lady who says she's 49 every
My
year.
daughter's gonna be 9. She's she's gonna be 10 this year.
That's
So I
10
got
years,
7
right?
years.
Yeah.
So I'm 3 years in. I got 7 more years.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's it, man. So it is hard though. I will say so I'm 44, something like that. And it's like, but you do learn, like what you said, Andrew, I started hearing all this research, like put on as much muscle as you
Yeah.
can. I feel like it's harder to gain muscle
Oh
than
my
it is to
gosh.
lose fat because
Yeah,
like
100%.
it's easier to almost lose weight and maintain, but to gain actual muscle, you eat 4,000 calories a day.
Yeah.
Like you have to eat so intentionally. And I find that's the hardest part of getting bigger.
And the catch is like when you're eating 4,000 calories in your 20s, it can be like Big Macs and milkshakes
Yeah,
and whatever else.
that's right.
You do that in
Yeah,
your late
yeah.
30s
Oh,
and early
yeah.
40s. It's got to be like lean. You
gotta
got to
be
eat all
clean,
lean.
man.
Yeah,
Clean
clean lean.
food.
And you're just like,
You're also forcing it down. It's
oh
not
gosh,
fun.
it's
It's
brutal.
not fun.
so I was doing 200 grams of protein a day because it's like 1 gram per body
That's
per,
hard,
per
man.
pound.
That is
And
so
it's
hard.
like, it's kind of disgusting what you're
It's
doing.
gross.
Yeah.
It's like you're taking 2-3 cans of tuna.
That's exactly what
you're mixing it in with stuff and you're pounding it. My wife would be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm trying to get big, trying to get big, trying to get big." And like it's and you just eat this stuff and you don't even enjoy it.
Yeah, no.
It's like
You got to mix the tuna, guys. That's
gotta
the dad
mix the
hack.
tuna.
Yeah, if you look at the can, it'll say don't drain. You're supposed to mix all that together
Yeah.
before you eat it. And
Do you-
I
do
think
you
it helps.
do the
it.
water or the
Sometimes
olive
it
oil
says
one
don't
then?
drain.
Water. It does.
I drain it out every time.
I drain it out
No,
too.
no.
I drain it out.
No, that's
put a little-
actually all the like omega-3s that you're trying to get from tuna. That's
Wait,
all.
seriously?
And yeah, like look at the only
But
like
I use the water one, like tuna
I know.
in spring water.
Yeah.
or
same
whatever.
thing. It's water. If you look at the Safe Catch and like a couple of other brands
Really?
on top, it says do not drain. And then you're supposed to mix it all back in together because it's been sitting in there too.
Have you ever done the
water, so-
olive oil ones?
I
had a
have.
couple.
They're gross.
Oh, dude, they're
thick, man.
They're thick. That's the best. Dude, it's thick. That's something. She's like, it's like, oh my gosh.
That's great.
I like when this turns into ASMR sometimes.
yeah, exactly.
What about working out and mental health? How have you found that?
Oh, that's something that I don't think
That's
most
huge.
people. I mean, they talk about it, but
Yeah.
you don't think about it in terms of equating it to being like a better parent, a better husband, a better
Yeah.
dad, whatever it is. Because I know that when I started working out, like the like pent up frustration that you get kind of throughout your day, whether it's a bad day at work or whatever,
Yeah.
like you have an actual like an outlet for it that is building towards something of value versus
Yeah.
like just being grumpy or whatever. And then like all the chemicals that your body creates and then releases and all the good things
Yeah,
that
yeah.
So
happen.
how does that balance your roid rage that you have?
Well, I'll say
like once I get to 44, then the roid rage gets to start.
to Andrew's point, the stress release, like you, I feel like you have a buffer, like because when you're stressed out, I just feel like the days that I work out, it's just longer for me to like get really upset.
And Huberman would tell you why, like all the
Oh, yeah, I'm sure some
cortisol and
brain
crap
stuff,
that gets
right, yeah,
released. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
there's science behind
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It's not like just, oh, I feel better. There's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
legitimate science behind why it
totally.
helps you feel better.
Yeah.
But I think it's also like we all have office jobs.
Yeah.
The majority of people, 30 years ago, probably did not have office jobs, I'd say, on average.
Right.
Whereas we're the first generation of, maybe that's why Dad Bod just came out. Like,
Yeah.
we're the first
Yeah.
real generation that has gone
Technology
in with
generation.
like gaming. You're gaming, you work in an office, you go home and you game. Now, none of us are gamers here, but the idea is like the average 30-year-old guy is a gamer,
it's true.
which is kind of a weird thing to think about,
Yeah.
but they are. I'm sure a lot of people listening to this
Yeah.
are gamers.
Yeah.
And so you think of like the sedentary activities that we do most of the time, like you have to
Yeah.
counterbalance that with something else.
Yeah, exactly.
So
What about getting older and feeling more tired? Testosterone and all the other stuff that comes along
Well,
with it.
the workout's funny enough. The workouts give me energy.
which is
I'm
but
waking
do you
up
find,
early.
But do you find before doing the workout, it feels like the hardest thing in the world to do? Because I'm finding that more and more.
that's why I've started going to a gym, because at home it's like, I don't know, I feel way less motivated at home. 'Cause I've got a small home gym and it's like fine. But when I go to the gym and you see like these other people walking around and like getting after, it's like, okay,
Oh, so you like watching the other men?
I have to just listen, whatever gets you going, right? I'm like, all right, I have to like keep up. Like I have to like feel like I got to keep up. So I'm going to maybe push a little bit harder, do a little thing, whatever. But yeah, I think going to the gym helps me kind of stay motivated.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I got a gym that's like 5 minutes from my house. Like, all right, I got in the car, I drove, especially on cold days.
Yeah.
And then you kind of feel
yeah.
like Rocky a little bit,
Yeah,
where you're
yeah.
like, all right, sludging through the winter cold.
Well,
I'm
you
gonna
gotta-
get my
You gotta be tough.
workout
You gotta
on,
be tough to live in
whatever.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
No,
What about you?
I think that it goes back though to my nighttime routine. That's what's more, as I've aged, is more important. Like before I can go to sleep, whatever,
Yeah.
I could still wake up and like work out.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, oh, I got to make sure I'm going to sleep at a good time. I'm getting a good night's sleep so that I can actually get up at whatever 5 or 6 in the morning, to actually do that workout. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the part that's changed. It's become more encompassing of like everything,
Yeah.
including my diet. because again,
Talk to me about diet. What does that look like for you guys?
I've just tried to eat, again, just from listening to people and reading stuff, like higher protein, and making sure that you're eating somewhat clean food. Like, and I feel like there is so much crap in our food, and it's probably always been in there, but I think that's a great place to start if you're trying to get started on a fitness journey. It's just like eat clean food, which I just mean minimal, like super processed or ultra processed foods.
You know what a sneaky trap is though? So in 2022, there was a poll done that 69% of dads admit that they finish their kids' meals. Okay, so if you accumulate roughly, the mac and cheese and the nuggets and whatever else that's in like the toddler diet, that's the equivalent of having 3 extra meals per week. So that's kind of where a lot of the hidden.
I don't eat my kids' food. That's gross. I don't trust their plates.
After that 4 sneeze, you're like, I think I'm good.
I'm good.
I eat around the sneeze, so I just kind of just move the snot around. And just go in.
I'm not a finish. I got 11 kids, man. I'm not finishing plates.
To bring them, stack them up.
What about social media? Are you guys looking at social media and looking at?
I was going to say, I think the Dad Bod has changed a little bit because all these fitness influencers too. And then you have these like alpha dad dudes that are like, you can be jacked and be a dad and be strong and be a dad. So,
which I appreciate.
Yeah, me too. I think the pendulum has swung back from that original Dad Bod stereotype more to be like, hey, and I think the Huberman podcast, you talked about him, all these people that are talking about physical activity and the advantages of physical activity, especially as you age, then I think just it's easier to like buy in. And be like, okay, maybe I should be trying to be intentional with some things here. Because if I want, and at the end of the day, we all want to feel better or feel the best that we can. And so when you just feel like crap or garbage every day, you kind of start getting motivated to do something new.
Now I'm calling an audible on this one. How much of this is like, how much of your working out is for, maybe you say your partner, like, okay, I still want to look good. How much of that do you guys carry into like your, like the way you look? Because I would assume most of our wives be like, oh no, it doesn't really matter. I love you for who you are or whatever. But like in your own mind, how do you look at that for yourself?
Yeah.
It's a great question. I think that definitely plays a part for sure. I like jokingly like refer to myself sometimes like as a like trophy husband or eye candy.
Yeah.
So
just eye candy around
I've
here.
got to live up to my own expectations.
Meanwhile, she does not have those expectations. No one else has those expectations.
Yeah.
But we're both a very active couple in general. So even like our honeymoon was like a hiking centric honeymoon. Pre-kids, we were constantly doing active stuff. We're not like a lazy around, sit at the beach type of couple. We would regularly work out together, go to the gym and stuff. In New York, we've done multiple, half marathons and stuff together and train for that.
I forgot. She
train for that together. So we both are very similar in terms of that. So I just don't want her getting ahead. When it comes to
so she's just competitive.
Yeah. How dare she be my trophy wife? I need to be her trophy husband.
That's great.
How about you?
Yeah, I would say the same thing because we're the same way. We're both active, worked out together. We used to do those Insanity or whatever those beach body things were like when we were first married and stuff like that together. So there's definitely motivation there to just like, and then if she's exercising, working out too, I'm like, okay, she's a mom of 4 and works and she's working out.
That's
like
so true.
She'd just make me look so bad if I was just like, oh, good luck down there, working out, doing whatever. So I got to keep up, man.
Yeah. What about you, Stud?
Oh, I think it plays a huge part about it. Like it goes back to also like, trying to demonstrate to your like kids and their friends, whatever, like, hey, you can't mess with like one of the biggest compliments I received was my daughter came home one day and she's like, Dad, all of my friends are terrified of you. They're like, the guys are absolutely terrified of even talking to you. I'm like, then I've done my job.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I feel so proud.
Crying if that was the case.
That's seriously.
But no, for my wife, like I think I always want to like, you always want to be like peacocking, right? I mean, it's not that my wife would ever look elsewhere or think of whatever else, but the idea is like, you're kind of stuck with the same partner for the rest of your life. Why not try to make it to where you can be like, as studly as possible?
Do you want to hear an interesting stat? And I was trying to pull this up while you were talking because I remember seeing it peripherally, but I just pulled it up. 2% of Americans have abs. 6% of Americans are millionaires. So it's statistically easier to get to rather become a millionaire than to have abs.
Yeah.
Don't tell that one dude who sells cars in Arizona who basically calls you a loser if you don't have a six pack.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Andy Elliott.
Yeah, seriously.
Like,
Take off your shirt.
Yes, take off your shirt.
That guy is so juiced up. That guy, I mean, he's juiced to the gills.
Yeah, he's Andy Elliott, man. You gotta love
He's
Andy Elliott.
high energy, man.
High energy. All those guys. But I have a friend who I'm super impressed with because this guy is the most high energy, and he's like, you know, he's super cut and everything like that.
Does he have kids?
Yeah, he's got 3 boys.
Okay.
And he just started this workout thing at our church in the morning, and these guys are like, all right, when it rains, it's better. And I'm like, I don't know how these guys do it. They're like, we don't use weights, we use cinder blocks, and they just like they put themselves through all this crazy stuff, like with like CrossFit and all this sort of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So like I think it's like he does a really good job of making it like a community thing. He always has people he's working out with, and it's like he's got this group of guys, which I think is super cool, kind of taking something that we have to do and then turning it into something that is like a way to build relationships with people and things like that.
Yeah,
But
that's awesome.
That's cool. That's cool.
Super impressive.
Nice. Well, I thought we'd move into the lightning round. Instead of doing a listener question, I've called this next segment Sweat or Regret, the Dad Bod edition. So I'm going to give you a bunch of questions and some choices. And just
Matt gets to go first.
Matt goes first.
I keep writing these.
I'm ready.
All right, ready? You can have abs for life, but every meal is boiled chicken. Or you keep your dad bod and eat like a king forever. Which do you choose?
Eat like a king. I'm Italian, man. I can't eat
Dad
that.
bod, I don't
No,
care.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'd keep the
I'm
dad
good with
bod
that too.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather lose 15 pounds or be able to nap anytime, anywhere, guilt-free for 30 minutes a day?
That's a good one.
Would you rather be 15 pounds light?
Me or him? He's gonna
Either or. Would you rather be 15 pounds lighter, or would you be allowed to
take
take
this
a
one, Andrew?
30-minute nap guilt-free?
I'd probably take 15 pounds lighter.
Really?
I feel like I can take a nap anyway, guilt-free. I feel like both things are gonna happen.
Sorry, babe.
Great
We're watching
answer.
golf.
Just look at me while I lay
Great
here
answer,
because I'm
yeah.
15 pounds lighter and shredded.
Yeah, great answer there.
What do you got?
Yeah, I don't know. 15 pounds lighter. I feel like I don't think that'd be a good look. So I'll take the nap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. How many chicken nuggets do you think you could eat in one sitting?
I know.
Dude, I could
Do you
probably-
know?
I know how many I could probably eat. Like comfortably, not like ugh,
Oh.
but comfortably.
Yeah.
McDonald's chicken nuggets? Let's quantify this.
Yeah.
Oh,
got,
Mickey D's
They got to be
chicken
Mickey
nuggets?
D's chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, if you go in there hungry, you could pound a 20-pack easy. I would say.
I'd say easily.
I think I could do 3 6-packs.
I was gonna say probably 20 is what I could do.
Okay.
You know, that's like the upper echelon.
Yeah.
You
That's
know.
before you throw up.
Well, that's with fries too, because you got to throw some
You have
fries in
to.
there.
Yeah,
Need some soda. You got to wash
gotta
it
get a
down.
Coca-Cola.
Was it milkshake, baby?
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
McFlurry.
I'm hungry, guys. What are we doing after
I
this?
think we figured out why the dad bod's kicked in.
Yeah, seriously.
All right. I actually love this next question. You get 1 year of free personal training, but your trainer is your father-in-law and he trains shirtless. Are you in?
Oh man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Would you really?
Oh yeah.
Would you train with your dad shirtless if you both did PT?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have no problem with that.
Dude, 80s kid. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
not scared of that,
Yeah.
man. I lived with a bodybuilder for a period. Shout out Brian. And yeah, man, I've been through that. I've been through
Yeah.
that already. It's all right.
I'd have
All
no
right.
problem with
Fine. You can burn 500 calories a day, but the only workout you're allowed to do is full choreography for Let It Go from Frozen. Do you do it?
that. Okay, I can burn 500 calories a day by doing a
Choreographed
choreographic dance to let it go.
Yes, correct. That's the only workout you're allowed
that's
to do.
the only one
That's
you
the
can do?
only way you get to lose calories at any point throughout the day.
So do I do it or do I not do it? Is that the question?
Well, yeah. I mean, otherwise you just continue to gain weight.
I mean, I guess I'll be
No, I
letting it
say it's
go.
not enough.
The body or the song?
That's great.
What do you got?
No, it's not enough calories. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't take it.
Really? 500 a day?
I mean, that's a good calorie.
That's a
don't
good
get me
calorie
wrong.
burn.
That's like what you kind of strive for. I think when you're cutting,
Yeah.
but yeah,
So you wouldn't do it? You wouldn't
there's
embrace
days
it?
where you can get more than that. So
All right.
you don't want to cut. You want to limit yourself.
Fine. I like this one. Would you rather have the metabolism of a 19-year-old, but with it you have to take the emotional maturity of one, or you keep your current bod, and your current wisdom?
Dude, I'll take my current bod and wisdom for sure. I was an idiot when I was 19.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're talking about wisdom, you just have to stay. You have to stay, and I think that's what people like about the dad bod is that there's this air of like wisdom and experience, and that's why like girls will be like, oh, I love a guy with a dad bod because they're like correlating it with like
maybe
something that maybe a 19-year-old with a dad bod
I'm just
doesn't
thinking
get
Seth Rogen every time. I don't know why.
Yeah. What'd you do?
I keep dad bod and the wisdom.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, 19. I don't want to be a 19-year-old again. Would you rather fight one horse-sized toddler or 30 toddler-sized horses?
Wait, I have to fight a horse-sized toddler?
Would you rather fight one horse-sized toddler or 30 toddler-sized horses?
Toddler-sized horses.
I don't know what that means, but probably 30 of the toddler horses.
Really?
Oh, a normal horse?
But a toddler is the size of a horse. One toddler-sized horse.
How heavy is a horse? 600 pounds?
So you'd have to fight one toddler,
600 pound
toddler. Or 30 toddler-sized horses. Like they all
what
have
am I
hooves.
fighting him with?
I don't know. Your bare hands?
Oh, yeah. That's...
I would take the one horse.
You need some weapons.
I take the one horse.
No, you're taking the one toddler. You're beating up a toddler.
One horse-sized toddler.
How could you beat up a toddler?
But it's 600 pounds.
It's a 600-pound toddler.
All right, new question. Next question. That was a fail. All right.
That's not fair. Listeners, let us know.
Fail
600, whatever.
Yeah, we just have some weird visuals
All right, last
going on
question.
here.
That's exactly. I'm
like, what?
This is weird.
Yeah, this is,
I'm thinking of me taking like a baseball bat, just clearing out 40 toddler horses.
Think of your 2-year-old with 600 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
All right, last question. You can be 5% body weight, but every time you
Body
talk...
fat?
Body fat. Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad. Oh, God. You can be 5% body fat, but every time you talk, you sound like Kermit the Frog. Or you stay with your current voice and your current bod.
Guy had a pretty good career.
I don't know.
Yeah.
5% body weight and his career.
Kermit was got pretty big. No. Yeah,
So no, you wouldn't be 5% and shredded.
No.
And sound like Kermit
If you
the
actually
Frog.
listen to guys that get that lean, they're like, it's a miserable existence.
Everybody
Like,
says it's
you
terrible.
can't sleep at all. You're freezing all the time. Like you're, that's what they tell you. Your veins are like popping out of your head. Yeah.
Well, Mr. 10% over there, he probably had a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it wasn't too cold where I was.
Yeah.
I want your 10-year plan, Naveed, to get
My
back up
10-year
to
plan
to
to get
put
back up
that
there.
30 pounds of muscle.
Wait,
on.
do you have a 10-year plan to get back up to your
No, but I
muscle?
want him to because I
No,
want to see.
I don't have
Jack
a 10-year
and
plan right now. My 10-month plan is just to get my shoulder better. That's really all I have right now. Plus, I'm actually so into, not to pivot, because I feel like we do this all the time and we just get onto golf every time. I just prefer playing golf than working out now. I really do. And there is, for me, a direct correlation between how hard I work out and how poorly I play. I just can't like swing, rotate, do any of that stuff.
There's got to be a way to work out. And if anybody is listening to this and knows how to do that, like what the plan is.
I like that.
To where you can work out, like build muscle, but also like golf well.
Yeah.
Because you look at
There's, like,
Rory, you look
mobility
at
training stuff.
Bryce, you look at a lot of these guys who like
They lift.
They
They lift
lift.
heavy.
You could tell they have to be lifting heavy.
Yeah. Actually, Bryson, just reach out directly. That might be easier.
there you go.
Yeah.
Since you got nothing else going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they say, Naveed, the dead hang is one of the best ways to fix your shoulders. Have you heard this?
Yeah, no. I mean, I know what the dead hang is.
Yeah, they say like it can fix a ton of shoulder problems by hanging for like 5 minutes. I mean, that's a long time to hang for one hang.
I just started doing this like maybe a month ago.
Okay.
Does it help?
Oh, dude.
Really?
And just in terms of mobility and everything,
Yeah.
you'll feel your shoulder. Like tearing's not the right word, but like you feel like the muscles almost like
Decompressing
almost like twitching, like it's getting new blood flow to the blood flow to the muscles is probably the best way
Look
to
it up.
describe
Yeah,
it.
because it's for real. They say
you,
like
you can
dead
only
hanging
hang for like
Do we have a place in the warehouse? We can start
maybe
doing
a
this?
minute
You
at a
should.
time. Like at least for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Before
to hang.
I mean,
Even a
like
minute.
I'll
you gotta-
typically go between 30 and 45 seconds. If you're wearing like whatchamacallit, it's like something on your hands. to
NFL
prevent
receiver
it.
gloves.
No, anything like that. Anything to prevent the tearing into your hands. It'd be a little bit better.
Yeah,
But like when you just go bare hands,
is,
like
yeah.
it's
Wait,
hard.
is that the dad hack for this week then?
We could turn it about.
I would say look it up, and be
Yeah.
fake news, but I've seen stuff saying that
I don't know the
as far as
benefit.
fixing your shoulder, a lot of common shoulder problems.
All I know is it increases blood flow,
Yeah.
and that's
Well, that's probably would do it.
Typically, what happens to your shoulder is you have like something's pinched, meaning blood flow is not getting there to do the repairing, which the hanging supposedly creates blood flow, and you'll feel it, like
nice.
You'll feel like the reactivation of.
All right,
whatever.
that's our
So report to us back.
Yeah, that's our dad hack.
Yeah.
Dad hack for the week. All right, boys. I feel like there's been a lot of hard pivots this episode. That was a lot of fun. Why don't you take us home, Matt?
Well, first of all, thanks everybody for commenting and for watching. We really appreciate that. You guys can find us on Spotify, Apple, Audible. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. So we're anywhere you can find us. And if you guys subscribe, then you will get notified every time a new episode comes out. So we appreciate that. And until next time.
Cheers, everyone.